Florida lawmakers are looking for creative alternatives to prison time for certain first-time low-level offenders. And as Jake Stofan shows us, one bill filed for the 2022 legislative session would provide the option of serving in the military instead of behind bars.
A first-time offender, 25 or younger, who's facing convictions carrying up to 4 years in prison would have the option of serving in the military in lieu of prison time under the legislation. Vietnam veteran Joe West says back during the war, military service instead of jail was a fairly common option for judges to provide.
And they were not any different than my other brothers.
He says in many ways, those who took military service were better off than those who didn't.
It made a lot of good people out of people that may have gone a different path had they not had that option.
Barney Bishop with the Florida Smart Justice Alliance says the idea has merit, especially for nonviolent offenders.
Even though it is a violent profession, because we're trying to help nonviolent offenders have another alternative.
But even if the legislation passes, the option might not work in practice. That's because most branches of the military now explicitly prohibit service as an alternative to criminal conviction.
The military has much higher standards now for entry than we had in the late 60s, early 70s.
But supporters of the military option say Congress would have more authority to make the idea a reality.
I think it would help them understand our country better, and I think it would give them a love of country that a lot of them these days are lacking.
The bill has been filed in both the Florida House and Senate. Lawmakers begin their annual session January 11th. Reporting from the state capitol, Jake Stofan, Channel 4, the local station.
The legislation would still require those who opt for military service to pay back any fines or fees tied to their sentence within the first term of their enlistment.